everybody to Boddy Creek Manor. I hope you enjoyed our 2020 house tour. Now come with me if you will, and I will take you around to look at some of the closer details that made up the display. So we'll start our tour here in the foyer, where the legend of Sleepy Hollow is introduced. Now this is my theme for this year. I try and make a different theme every single year, and I've always loved the Headless Horseman, so I was pretty excited to use that as a basis for my display. Now, there's not a whole lot of Headless Horseman merchandise, so I had to get a little creative. These frames that you see here, I took a Headless Horseman storybook, cut out a lot of pages, and made a lot of the artwork that we're going to see around the house. I also got on this entry table the flaming pumpkin from Home Depot. I absolutely love it. If you listen closely, it does make a little bit of a whirling sound, which kind of irritates me a little bit. I picked up the lantern from Home Goods this year, and the bird on the branch I've had for years. I think it came from Marshall's. Now, in the video, I started out with a shot of this wreath, which was a gift from one of my subscribers. I really love it. I put it out every year, so thank you very much. If you look closely, I'd intended to start it on this little beware sign, but even though the light is right outside there, right next to the door, you can hardly see it. So I am not a fan of these lighting effects at all. And of course it's pouring rain outside. Over in the corner here, we have Edgar Allan Poe. Now, I would have loved to have Washington Irving, but he's the writer of the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, but I have Edgar from previous years. Now, Edgar actually came from Home Goods as well. A lot of people ask me about him and where they can find him, but unfortunately, I haven't seen him there for years. I've had Edgar for several years now, and I absolutely love him. Home Goods used to have a lot of busts, but I didn't see any of them this year. I think the situation of 2020 has left us with a dearth of Halloween goods this year. That little skeleton man there by the door is a little bit off theme, but I love him. I got him at Ross one year. I saw him this year at Old Time Pottery, and he has a girlfriend, it looks like, that they sell along with him as well. But here is the man of the hour. This is my Headless Horseman that I bought at CVS, again, many years ago. I think he was actually my first stand-up prop. Like I said, I have loved the Headless Horseman for years. I made this mirror with a jack-o'-lantern head in it a couple of years back as well. That was an idea I stole out of one of the Halloween magazines. Down at the bottom of the Headless Horseman's feet, we just have a collection of dollar store skulls and one of these little skull towers that I found at the Goodwill. You'll see a lot of merchandise from the Goodwill as we take a look around. I try and reuse stuff as much as I can, put them in different situations every year. But like I said, every year is a little bit different, and this year, given that I didn't even know if we'd have trick-or-treaters, I tried to limit a lot of the stuff that I put out. So even though it may look like there is a lot of stuff here, this is very, very edited down. I kept telling myself, less is more. So as much as I have out on display, I must have 4 times as much still in my storage room. But I really like the pieces that I put out this year. I really think it does a good job telling the story. Again, that is the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, which I had just printed out here on some aged paper. I intended to actually scatter those pages on the coffee table, but I ended up just leaving it in a stack next to the typewriter. I really love how my coffee table turned out this year. It's one of my favorite things to do is to decorate the coffee table. So I use the books. Obviously, I try, it's a literary theme, so I've got my books everywhere. And I also decided to use a lot of skulls because it's the Headless Horseman, and he collects heads and they turn into skulls. The candles, I got from the Dollar Tree. They look nice, I think. They have a nice little... Some of them have ribbons, some of them have little leaf decorations and so forth. But I intended to hollow them out and put fake candles in. Might be a project for another year. I also got this snow globe of the Headless Horseman from the Spirit Store. And just some of these other decorations mostly come from Marshall's, TJ Maxx, Home Goods. But I really just love the collection of books. It's great to stack things on, and of course it just adds to the literary theme. Much like my pumpkin over here. Decoupaged with words. I did not make that, I bought that one as well. Now, the violin is supposed to reference, Ichabod Crane because he teaches music. The cauldron full of skulls. I actually made this cauldron holder a couple of years ago, and it, along with the broom there, was part of a witch theme that I did. And if we paid attention during the tour, we can see my witch up there. Because this is kind of the trilogy. The first year, I did witches. The second year, it was the pumpkin man who has sort of married the witch and taken over. But you may have noticed he was banished this year outside, and the Headless Horseman has taken over and moved in. That's why we're going to see some witch effects still around the house. Like my apothecary jars with these skeletons from the Dollar Tree inside, and I've given them each names. Of course, there's Sarah, and Mary, and Winnie, the witches from Hocus Pocus. Of course, I love my candelabras. There's a couple of them there. I ran out of batteries, though, so I didn't have a chance to really change the batteries. They're a little bit dim. Hopefully they showed up. Some pillows. Now, the eek and the skull I bought previously. The trick or treat with the spider webs I made with a no-sew hot glue method using dish towels. So check out my tutorial if you're interested in that. And of course, you can always buy my Happy Haunting pillow. Check out the link below. But where were we? All right. The mantelpiece I love this year. This is my horse head. It's supposed to be, if we look closely on the nameplate, gunpowder. And the story of the Headless Horseman has Ichabod Crane riding an old horse named Gunpowder. Well, in this world, Gunpowder has been hunted down and collected as a trophy. I've got my sticks and jars. You may remember I bought these jars on Goodwill a couple of years ago, so I think they look pretty good on the mantle. I didn't really have a good place for them last year. And these lanterns are from Walmart this year. I absolutely love them too, because lanterns, I think, go very well with the Sleepy Hollow story. But what could go better with Sleepy Hollow than heads, because we have the Headless Horseman hunting all the heads. So I just recently did a tutorial on how to make these heads in jars, and I think they turned out absolutely fantastic. I've got 15 of them. Some of them you may recognize, like Dracula or Frankenstein, or just weird zombies. Of course, there's Justin Bieber. But if you look closely also, there is a little alien in the corner. And then just some pictures of us on the bookcase there. With my eyeball flowers, I did as a mantle decoration a few years back, because again, it changes every year. Right, as we move down the hall, here we can see we've got a nice little vignette that you see when you walk in the door here. We've got the Headless Horseman statue I picked up this year, again from, I think it was Home Goods, or Marshall's, or one of those. And then the Death tarot card poster. I actually love this because obviously the Headless Horseman artwork, but it really transitions into the fortune teller theme that we have going on in the kitchen. But before we get to that, again, just some more artwork here. We had another Headless Horseman print. And then here are some more of those pictures from the picture books that I cut out and put in frames of the horses from the Legend of Sleepy Hollow. But speaking of other prints from the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, let's make our way up the stairs. The lighting here is terrible, but in these very reflective frames, you can see again the story of Sleepy Hollow as we go up the stairs. You've got just kind of that atmospheric print, Ichabod looking down in the woods, and him being chased by the Headless Horseman, and then caught by the Headless Horseman. Up here on the landing, we just have some more witch display materials, little cat poster, little cat, witch's hat, and this sort of grandfather clock I bought from a crafter a couple of years back, I think. I love the way that looks. There were actually several designs. I chose the spider one because, as you may recall from the kitchen, I like spiders. But before we head there, let's take a look in the bathroom. I wasn't planning to do anything in here this year, but I got this last minute inspiration just for you guys. Of course, we have our Happy Haunting soap. I got this here from Bath & Body Works. But my favorite piece, of course, is the skeleton on the toilet holding his toilet paper. I usually do spiders here in this bathroom. But again, I wanted to keep it nice and easy. As I said, this is my toned down decorating. I only decorated the kitchen and the living room really this year. Some years I decorate the entire house. It's a lot of work. And then of course here in the kitchen, we're doing our fortune teller theme. So the psychic sign with the arrow pointing into the kitchen leads us into that theme. More tarot cards to match the one out in the hall. We've got the Lovers, and below it, this little spell book with a love potion. The other tarot poster up here next to the door, hello, is the Hermit. Very reflective again, sorry, but it is a very scary looking tarot card. Next to my fortune teller here. I love the way he looks. He's very creepy. He unfortunately does not work. I think he moves, but I can't get the volume to go. So I put in a little puck light there that changes colors just to give him some atmosphere. It's a shame he doesn't work. My palm reader sign I just had to get from Lowe's a couple of years ago. Love it. Of course, it shines in everything that I'm trying to show you now. And then my Grandin Road, I can't remember what this lady's called, but I usually have her as a witch. Today she's a fortune teller, reading some tarot cards. They are zombie-themed tarot cards, actually, which I think I got from Amazon. And then my crystal ball that Keith got me. Keith from Cobwebs and Candlesticks. Make sure you check out his channel. So on the TV, we have some more tarot art displayed. And then on the little buffet, there is the zombie tarot box on these palmistry card or books that I got from Marshall's this year. Love them. Apples because of the witch theme. Fear candle, love it. I love these little ugly gourds. I think they're awesome Halloween decor. And then, of course, my candy for this year. I'm probably not going to do candy bags like I do every year because, again, I don't even know if we're going to get trick-or-treaters. This is the second time we've had to fill this jar of candy because we can't just wait for the trick-or-treaters. If you look in the window, you will see our villain from last year, the Spirit Prowler, Pumpkin Prowler, I guess. He's lit up again. It's raining. It's kind of hard to see. Maybe if I turned off the lights here, you'd see him a little bit better. Of course, he's got a little red light shining on him. We try and keep the kitchen functional, obviously, so there's not too much decor in here. We've got the candy, or the, I don't know, platter and tray there for food. We have our tray that I made as a craft a couple of years ago, again, because we saw one of these in the at-home store and it was outrageously priced, so I did one myself, but much cheaper. My little sister got me this trick-or-treat cauldron on the stove. Over here on the side, just got some poison and some other tchotchkes that kind of look like they could go in a kitchen. Little snake pumpkin over there. I have a couple of those. We are moving into the spider theme. The spiders on the counter, and then of course if you look at the doorway, we have my cocoon person all wrapped up in the spider web because there's the giant spider coming down the stairs, and then some spiders along the wall and on the other door as well. So when you walk in, you have to dodge the spiders, but you know, there they are. Over here is my poison cabinet. I found this cabinet at the Goodwill this year. I wanted to paint it black or some other Halloween color, but never got around to it. It doesn't bother me. I think it looks excellent here in this little niche. So I've got my various potion jars I've made over the years, and a couple other things like the spiders that one of the subscribers sent me this year. And then as we make our way back, I love this little witch. I got her on clearance from the home goods store one year for like 20 bucks, I think. It was something crazy. And then my book of spells on the wall. And that is my fortune teller area. The only thing we haven't seen yet is my stairway to the basement. Usually I like to put some sort of animatronic down there because it's always creepy seeing something come up from the basement. But again, I'm keeping it simple this year, leaving it with Frankenstein and the Bride. And there we have Boddy Creek Manor for 2020. I hope 2021 offers us some exciting new opportunities to explore different displays. But until then, we still have Halloween to get to and an outside display to show you. So stay tuned for that. If you'd like to see our walkthroughs from previous years as well, we do have the last few years uploaded here on YouTube. So check those out as well. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Take care, stay safe, and happy haunting.